Guys, it's your boy Parrish Oglesby from Uncut Gems. I got 10 gems I want to give. I want to put out there. I'm going live today because I've been looking at all the comments and having conversations with friends and family about what happened at the Oscars. I was on the phone talking to somebody about something when I got the call. And then I had to go on Twitter, and then I saw on YouTube, and I had so many different mixed emotions regarding this. And, man, I watched it, and it got to a point where, man, I couldn't, I couldn't watch it, and I hate it. I kind of cringe. But I said to myself, man, hopefully we can get something from this. So I got about 10 gems now. It may be a little longer, but guys, if you've been on my YouTube channel, I'm long-winded a little bit, as my family say. And some of the people out there say I talk too much. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. But I'm going to give you 10 things that I think the men, remember that Uncut Gems is about ordinary men doing extraordinary things. And this is a positive channel, and this is about, growing and as a man and learning and putting your own perspective out there, but creating your own narrative. So that whole experience was big. It was a very big teachable moment. So I'm gonna try to hit on some stuff that I didn't see, and if it's redundant, forgive me. But check us out on Uncut Gems. My first number one thing that you should learn from what you saw the other night at the Oscar. Big Wheel, you need to drop off about $10 million in Chris Rock's account. You need to just go and drop it off, dog. I know the other comedian said 200 million. That's too much. But you got to understand, that slap is going to last for a long time when he got two little daughters and they got to go to school. We're not talking about Chris right now. We're talking about his family, his children. And so a lot of people got to stand behind that slap. And Chris stood in there like a full-grown man. And but you got to run me that 10. Put 10 million into this account. Make sure the taxes, I'm not paying no taxes on it, on nothing. I want you to run that 10 million for me, all right? So it's gonna go to my kids, 5 to, each girl, but you gotta take care of it, because I got to explain to my daughter why another grown man put his hand on me in front of a billion people, all right? 2, another gem we can get from this, hey, Chris, put your hands up, man. I'm saying that all these young men out here, we don't want no smoke. I don't want no fire. This is not about, bravado or toxic masculinity or whatever. But if you say something about my woman, if I had one, if you say something about my woman and I start walking towards you, do a few things. Put your hands up, go for my legs, or run. Because I'm not coming there to put my arm around you and be like, you so funny. We're not going to do that. Because in my belief, and apparently in Big Will's belief, it's 2 things you don't talk about. You don't talk about my woman, you don't talk about my kids. All right? So, Chris, put your hands up. Now, you know what I would have preferred him to do? Take off running. You're a comedian. Everybody would have laughed. It would have been funny. It would have diffused Big Will. And it could have been, what it was, right? But you just stood there with your hand behind your back. Man, let me tell you something. My son and every young man out there, we're not fighters. We're lovers and businessmen out here. We're not talking about fighting. We ain't talking about pulling out no pistol, none of that. But at least hold your hand up where you can block it. Shoot for his legs. Take off running. That's number 2 gem that we should learn from the Oscars the other night. 3 is to all the people who are watching and got opinions about this situation, who think, from this point on, if I don't like something, I'm running up on the stage and I'm going to handle my business. Do not run up on stage if you hear something you don't like. I can't come on your job and disrupt you. I remember a comedian said back in the day, I can't come down to your job and knock that broom out your hand. You get what I'm saying? Do me a favor. All the people who are thinking about it, these comedians out there, that's their job, man. Don't run up on them. You might not get just a slap and then walk off all... Will walked off like the George Jefferson walk. Like, take that. Everybody not gonna get that chance, okay? So that was number 3. And that was to the people. And 4, man, I hate this for Chris because it's one of my favorite comedians. And I hate this for Will because he's one of my favorite actors. I hate that. I hate that. So, but that's just number 4, that we can learn that you can put some out there that make everybody feel bad. 5, men cannot afford to get emotional. Now, I know we can look on the Housewife of Mars, and we can see women throwing drinks and pulling wigs and throwing down, and security rush in and throwing chairs and we whoop de whoop and all that good stuff. Okay, I don't condone that either because I think that's trash as well. But I'm not. This is not toward women. This is toward my men. You cannot afford to get emotional no matter what, your woman, your children, or whatever, because we're going to get to that down the line. You can't afford that because that is assault. That is assault. And when you put yourself out there and get emotional, man, you set yourself up for that 10 million that you got to drop in my bank account. You got to drop that. And we don't want to do that. It costs you more from that moment. Just count everybody to the sound of my voice. Go back and listen to it and time it. Put your timer on and see how much time it took for that slap to happen and walk away. That time ain't worth that 10 million that you got to drop in my bank account, Big Will. It ain't worth it. So men cannot afford to get emotional. Every time we get emotional, bad stuff happens. Okay? 6, amen. Marriage is hard. Choose wisely. Marriage is hard. And I know. Choose wisely. I'm not blaming anything on this woman or whatever, but I know I have been in love with somebody who I'm all over the place. Because, for whatever reason. Choose wisely, man. 7, if you ever wanted to know what it meant when your mama told you that she was going to slap the taste out your mouth, that's what it was. That's what you got. That's when somebody said, I'm going to slap the fire out your, somebody going to slap the taste out your, somebody going to fill in the blank. That's what it looked like. Because you don't know. You know how sometimes I remember my grandmother, God rest her soul, me and my friends would be in the back room, me and my uncle and them in the back room playing, and she done told us to cut it out. I'm about to go in here and slap the, guess what? That door swing open, you might well just go ahead and, because it's coming, all right? So that's 7. That's what it means when somebody say, I'm going to slap the taste out your mouth. Because you notice how Chris was speaking afterwards? He had to gather some more taste and get himself together because the taste was slapped out of his mouth. 8, fellas, there's a time and a place to deal with this stuff. There's a time and a place. Now, let me explain something. This is no judgment because, as my sister once told me, I have cut up sideways in my past when I got out in my emotions. I done put on a show for some folk. So it's no judgment, but this is lessons. When we know better, well, T.D. Jakes just told me yesterday, when you know better, you don't always do better, but you should do better. So there's a time and a place, and I know everybody wish, that Big Will would have took Chris in the back and everything and say, hey, man, don't you ever say anything about my wife. Or he could have went on stage, turn around to the world and say, keep my wife's name out your mouth, and told Chris to be quiet. He could have did it that way. Maybe. I don't know. We've been talking about it still. But there's a time and place for it, and everybody would agree that's not the time nor the place. And 9, I got this from the Bible. Offense will come. And what do we do with offense? We got to forgive. We got to forgive. And then 10 is something I learned. You should praise in public and correct in private. It goes back to dealing with situation. He did it. Will did that in public. So you got to correct that in public. You got to correct that in public. You can't go in the back or send no Instagram or no Facebook. I'm sorry. Call that man up and publicly in front of everybody. Do it, man. That's the way to handle it. That's the way men should handle it. Because if I would have did it in the back, we need to fix it in the back. If I do it in the public, I need to fix it in the public. All right? But how I deal with situations, I try to praise in public and I try to correct in private. So that's 10. I can go on and on and on and on. But those are the 10 gems that I think you should take away from this. Man, what I hate the most is that, you know, the message that it's seeing, it sends so many different messages, some good, some bad, some mixed, and everybody has an opinion on it. The thing about it is those two people who are married, man, marriage is tough. It's hard out here. It is hard out here, guys. So, man, let's do a better job. Men, let's do a better job. Let's learn from Big Will's mistake, because Big Will is dead wrong. Dead wrong. You know, if that was just a regular dude that was up there speaking, okay. But that was a comedian doing comedian stuff. And my sister is saying, she's shouting in my earpiece saying right now, that was 20 years of getting tired of. I get it too. I understand. Y'all might see me somewhere in the future, and I might not be looking my best. And you just don't know what. You know how you get your kids been cutting up all day long, and then you get to the grocery store and you just, that last straw, and then everybody like is appalled and clutching their pearls because you cutting up on that child. I understand. Chris got what everybody, Chris got all the build up from all the bull and everything, and I do not, Jada ain't got nothing to do with this. This is all on Will. Will made the decision to take it upon himself to break a lot of boundaries and go up there and do what he did. We'll all get past this. God forgives all. This too shall pass, and Chris and Will will be okay. But there's gonna be some memes from here to Timbuktu. Okay. Hey guys, it's your boy, Parrish Oglesby with Uncut Gems. Y'all be good and be safe out here. Y'all hear that storm coming? Y'all be careful and have a good one. I'll see y'all next week.